up, guys? Welcome back to episode 3 of our Xtreme Teklan series, where our dreams and goals are big, but our area of gameplay is definitely not. As always, I'd just like to start off the episode by thanking everyone who has watched and supported the series so far. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this, so thank you guys so much. So in our last episode, we started off the chunk by obtaining a willow shield, which was our new best in slot melee, magic, and range shield. We then followed that up by achieving 30 defense in order to wield that willow shield. And then not too long after that, we lost our hardcore Ironman status while we were fighting the gemstone crab in PvP worlds, which I'm still kind of salty about. But we then followed that up by achieving 20 mining, which was the level required to mine a silver ore. After that, we spent lots and lots of time fighting over 1,500 gemstone crabs in order to collect over 5,000 gems for our crafting grind. And we also cut over 12,000 willows for our fletching grind. We then cut over 5,000 gems in order to achieve 55 crafting, which was the level required to cut our dragonstone. And then we followed that up by fletching those 12,000 willow logs in order to achieve 71 fletching to make our dragonstone arrow tips. We then finished off the episode with our second chunk roll for the account, which is how we ended up here in the Totti rainforest. As for the chunk tasks that come with our new chunk, we have to achieve 58 cooking in order to bake a pita bread. And then we also have to obtain a blue wizard hat, which is our best melee, ranged, and magic head. We've already obtained multiple blue wizard hats, so I'm just going to go ahead and mark this one as completed. So that will just leave us with the 58 cooking grind for this chunk. Now here's the plan. In order for us to reach 58 cooking, we're going to be starting up our very own large-scale Demonity operation. And what that means can be explained in just a few simple steps. Step 1 consists of agriculture. We're going to need to pick over 3,000 Demonia leaves from Demonia bushes. Step 2 consists of purchasing. We're going to need over 3,000 bowls from world hopping at the general store. Step 3 is our water source. We're going to need to fill all of our bowls manually after we purchase them from the general store. The next step consists of combining ingredients. We have to combine all of our Demonia leaves with bowls of water in order to make Demonia water. In step 5, our final step consists of finally cooking the Demonia teas for 58 XP per tea. One additional thing I'll mention is that I was informed that I could use the same 13 bowls over and over again and just dumping or consuming the tea and then rinsing and repeating. That's probably more efficient, but I don't really care that much. This is easier for me to kind of just turn my brain off and do, so I'm going to do it this way. But now that I let you guys in on my grand scheme, I think it's time for us to get into the actual gameplay. Time to officially unlock our second chunk. So there you go. We can now walk into the Totti rainforest. Let's see what it has to offer. First thing I see is Xylo here. So essentially all Xylo is saying is that she's trying to unite with her friend Fabia. I'm pretty sure in one of the nearby chunks we have a task to actually do that. And then we've got Kiatla. Yeah, he's useless. But I guess there's giant spiders here. Jaguars. Ooh. I'm sure those don't drop anything. Then we have some imps over here. The one thing about this chunk is there are a lot of imp spawns, so that can help us out with getting our pot of flour that we need for the 58 cooking. In order to make that pita bread, we need a pot of flour, which is only obtainable from these imps. So the added imp spawns, that'll help us out a little bit. Yeah, not really too much on the outskirts of this chunk, though. We have the ocelots, and all they do is drop bones, so not that special. And in the center of the chunk, we have some frogs. Oh, I didn't realize those have 8 hit points. Yeah, it would be terrible if we ever wanted to kill these, I guess, for just some easy bones. They have more hit points than chickens, So a little better to train on, I guess, but we have the gemstone if we really want to train, or guards. But I think that's really everything that's in this new chunk. There's not a whole lot here. The biggest thing is the imp spawns, which are like the reason why we have our new challenges. So that's pretty much everything. So here you can see I already have 807 bowls of water and 318 demonia leaves already. So these weren't too much of a pain to gather. That's another reason why I'm just going to purchase 3,000 bowls in total and pick 3,000 demonia leaves, because it really wasn't that bad, and I already have a stack to start with, so may as well just have 3,000 demonia teas in the bank at the end of this grind. So I'm going to get started buying some of these bowls. I'm going to sell some of my regular longbows and willow longbows in each world and use the money to buy like a stack of 5 bowls in each world. And I'll just rinse and repeat until we have all the bowls of water that we need. And once we get a full inventory of bowls on our way back to the bank, there's this water fountain right here. So we'll just fill the bowls up at the water fountain, and then we'll bank them and then get back to the general store. I also realized while hopping worlds that oftentimes there are imps in the general store. So whenever I see these, I'm instantly going to kill them, and ideally we will get that pot of flour just while hopping worlds buying bowls. I could see this little guy from the general store while I was hopping worlds. Look at that, there's our pot of flour. So now we have it, we can throw that in the bank and it'll be ready to be turned into a pita bread once we hit level 58 cooking. Look at that, that's our first 100k stack of coins on the account. That's a pretty good looking sight. Alright, we should be done filling bowls with water. This should be 3,000 bowls on the dot. Yep, there you go. 3,000 bowls of water. Now we just need to collect all of our demonia leaves, and then we can start combining the two. Now this is the content I know you guys all came to see. Some thrilling stuff. Just got a genie lamp though. So I'll pop that bad boy on smithing for 60 smithing XP. And that'll get us to level 7 smithing. Making some progress slowly but surely. So I just came to the realization that there is a demonia bush right next to the bank instead of on the other side of the wall. So we can pick here from now on. It'll make our trips a lot shorter, which is really nice. Also, I've been thinking about it after all these demonia leaves that I've been picking. What is up with the animation for this? Like, why am I headbanging backwards and just throwing my back out every time I pick a demonia leaf? Alright, we finally have our 3,000 demonia leaves and bowls of water, so we're gonna start mixing these bad boys together, and then we can finally get to cooking. This should be the end of making our demonia waters. So once we deposit these, there you go. There's 3,000 bowls of demonia water. So we can finally get to cooking. I'm going to start off with the little bit of raw chickens we have left, and then we can get to the demonia teas. So there's our first level 37 cooking. Finally done with the chickens. We have 2 left over, but I don't really care. So time to get to brewing these demonia teas and hopefully get some quicker levels. Not even halfway through our first inventory of demonia teas, and there's level 38 cooking. There's level 40 cooking. So we can now cook cakes and lobsters. Yeah, I'm realizing while I'm doing this that it's probably not the most entertaining content. So hopefully once I get to editing, I can actually make this a little bit enjoyable, somewhat entertaining. I don't know. I don't really know how I'm gonna make it that interesting though. course, we recorded every level of the cooking grind except for level 58, which is the level we were going for. But we did hit the level, so it is now time to hopefully make this pita bread. Let's go fill this jug with water, and then we will add that to our pot of flour to make sure we do the right one to make pita dough. All right, and here's the moment of truth. I'm just gonna go for it. Use the pita dough on the oven, and there you go. We have officially completed our chunk task to bake a pita bread. So that is our chunk completed, and it's time to get back into the chunk picker. But first, please consider leaving a like on the video, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. All of the love and support goes a really long way. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I truly, truly appreciate all of you guys. All right, so here we go again, back at the chunk picker. Again, I really don't want number 2. I absolutely do not want number 2 with that 87 fletching. And number 4, ideally, I do not want right now either. Really 1 or 5, I'm cool with. But number 5, I really do want. Praying for number 5, honestly. And if we hit number 3, then we would have a 70 mining grind. But yeah, you know the deal. Let's go for it. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Come on. Yes! Yes, 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 yes! Let's go! Let's go, dude. Oh, that's awesome. So happy. Let's go, dude. That couldn't have been any better. And I pretty much have all the money I need for my runes for the magic grind. So let's go. So we officially have all of Teklan unlocked after a couple of months. This chunk feels so good to unlock, let me tell you. So we have an anvil and a furnace now. So once we get our smithing grind eventually, we'll have these to use. Over here, we have the archery shop. So this is where we can get all of our arrows. Oh, look there's a saw. Yeah, we can get our arrows and our bows from here, and look at all that. That is beautiful. So we need to be able to wield an adamant arrow and a maple bow, which we get both of those from here. Then we have our rune shop over here. So these are really the highlights of the chunk. Oh my god, look at all of those. This is huge for the account. So now I won't mind if we roll that chunk with the dragons, because now we have ranged and magic. And there's a dye shop here as well. But yeah, we have officially unlocked ranged and magic, which is awesome. So we now have all of our combat styles unlocked now. Then we've got this little dock over here. How nice that is. We have made it, my friends. Hello, Bard. Hello, Bard. I'm just happy to be here. So now that we finally have the rest of Teklan unlocked, we have some... Wait. Can you get a little closer, please? Jeez, you have one job. So as I was saying, now that we have the rest of Teklan unlocked, we have some new chunk tasks that come with it. So for our new chunk tasks, we have to achieve 55 magic in order to cast high-level alchemy. We have to achieve 30 ranged in order to wield a maple shortbow. We have to obtain an adamant arrow, which is our ranged best in slot ammo. And then we also have to obtain a maple shortbow, which is our ranged best in slot two-handed weapon. So again, these tasks don't seem too difficult. I actually think I'll have some fun with these ones. It'll just be nice to finally get some levels up for ranged and magic. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so I just bought 1,000 bronze arrows. That should be more than enough for the 30 range grind. And then I also bought a short bow, an oak short bow, and a willow short bow, just so that we have them once we have the levels to use them. So I'm going to hold off on getting the maple short bow until we can actually wield it. But yeah, we have our first range gear on the account, which is pretty awesome. What a Chad. I also just got a little start on stacking up some runes. So we have 2,000 air runes and 2,000 mine runes, which will be a good start for us. I did see that there's this bug where you can cast Monster Inspect at level 1. Right now the wiki says you need level 42 magic in order to cast that, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I don't know if it's actually supposed to be level 42 or if they meant to have it be level 1, but at the time I'm recording this, it does say level 42, so I'm not going to cast Monster Inspect until I get to level 42. I just don't feel like cheesing it, and if I'm actually casting like Airstrike, then I can kill things and get more bones for prayer XP. So once I get to level 42, I'll switch over to Monster Inspect since the runes for that spell are actually cheaper. But right now, we're gonna stick to Airstrike. I also think I'm gonna start off with ranged, and I'm gonna kill chickens for now. I could do Gemstone Crab, but again, I want bones for prayer XP, so let's get started killing some chickens. There's the first range level on the account, level 2 ranged. There's level 3 ranged, level 4 ranged, and our first prayer level of this grind, level 21 prayer, and then level 5 ranged. So now that we're level 5 ranged, that means we can now wield the oak shortbow. So we're gonna switch over to that for now until we can wield the willow shortbow. Right now we're at +8 ranged attack bonus. The oak shortbow brings us up to +14. Currently just chipping away at selling some of these unstrung willow longbows. Selling 10 at a time per world and killing the imps when I see them. So there's level 6 ranged. Alright, I got sick of world hopping. We still have 8,500 unstrung willow longbows to sell, but I'm just going to do it here and there, try not to wear myself out. But right now the cash stack's in at 223,000 coins. So let's get back to the chickens, I guess. So there's 7 ranged, 8 ranged, 9 ranged, and we missed the recording, but there is 10 ranged. We just finished up a dunce random, so you know we're popping that on smithing for 105 smithing XP, and that gives us level 8 smithing. Nothing goes to waste with me. I'm picking up all the feathers, all the bones, and all of the raw chickens. And there's level 22 prayer, so we can now use the prayer rapid heal. There is level 15 ranged, only 15 more levels to go. These bones should get us to level 23 prayer. And just wrapping up another gravedigger random. So there's a lamp, pop that bad boy on smithing for another 80 smithing XP. We only need one more lamp for another level. I guess I missed recording it, but we hit level 20 ranged. I've decided to start safe spotting some guards. I got kind of sick of killing chickens, just one-tapping them constantly. So I figured why not try out some guards and get some stuff off of their drop table. I also apologize for the high amount of mobile clips during this video. At the time of recording these, I was away at a wedding for an extended weekend, and I was just super excited to get started on this chunk, so I played a whole lot of mobile. But there's level 21 ranged. We just finished up another gravedigger event, so this lamp right here will get us another 80 smithing XP and get us to level 9 smithing. So only one more level until we are at double digits. This right here has been my preferred safe spot for the guards over here. Only downfall is that I have to like keep running around to pick up the loot, but I just like this spot more than pulling the guards behind the fence over there. This is just a lot less effort. And there's level 24 ranged. Kobe. And there is level 25 ranged. So only 5 more levels until we reach our goal. Ladies and gentlemen, there is level 29 ranged. Only 1 more level to go. The moment you have all been waiting for, there is level 30 ranged. So we can now wield maple bows as well as adamant arrows. So now we just need to go and purchase those and complete 3 of our 4 chunk tasks. So now it's time to knock off a few of these tasks. So we'll trade this guy. First, we have to obtain our maple shortbow. That is our best ranged two-handed weapon. We also have to obtain an adamant arrow. There's that. That is our best ranged ammo. And then lastly, we have to wield our maple shortbow, which was our 30 range requirement. So that's all 3 tasks. That only leaves us with our task to reach 55 magic in order to cast high level alchemy. And then after that, we will officially be done with this chunk. So I just wrapped up selling some more of our unstrung willow shortbows. I only got 63k, just doing a little bit at a time, but that puts us at a total of 287,000 coins, which is great. We need all the money we can get to buy our runes for the 55 magic grind. So we're gonna head back over to chickens. We're gonna start off our magic training by manually casting Wind Strike on these chickens. So let's get some of these starting levels. So there's the first magic level, level 2 magic. There's level 5 magic. We can now cast Water Strike. This bone will give us 24 prayer. Shout out to Kobe. And there is level 10 magic. I decided to come back over to the same safe spot I was using to range the guards over here. And there is level 15 magic. What do you know? There is level 20 magic. So we can now cast Bind. This isn't terrible. I just honestly hate manually casting spells, but it's not the end of the world. There's level 21 magic, which is the level required to cast low level alchemy. Got a Quizmaster random. You know, we're always selecting that mystery box. Still wouldn't mind getting Mithril Scimitar out of this. I'll take that, honestly. 20 natures, I'm fine with that. 24 magic, we're balling like Kobe. I didn't get a pop-up because we're in the middle of combat, but there is level 25 magic. And there's level 35 magic, so we can now cast Firebolt. So I went and bought some body runes and earth runes in order to cast Confuse, Weaken, and Curse. Since the Earth Strike's only 5.5 XP and I'm already manually casting my spells, I figured I may as well cast all 3 of those spells whenever I can as well, just to increase my XP a little bit. The other thing is the costs for the runes for those 3 spells are cheaper than the runes for Airstrike, so it's kind of a win-win. So there's level 26 prayer. With that level, we can now use Hawkeye, and that also gets us up to level 68 combat. There's level 40 magic. Nice rounded number. We can now cast Teleport to House, and we are inching closer and closer to 55 magic. There's level 41 magic, so we can now cast Wind Blast. And there's level 42 magic, which is the level that the wiki says is required to cast Monster Inspect. So let's now go get some runes in order to cast that. So I've just been hopping worlds, buying body and mind runes for a little while. We have just a little bit over 10,000 of each. That should be plenty of runes, probably way more than I need. But that's okay. I can always make use of these in the future. So just stocking up. We still have 183k in the bank. So plenty of money to spare. Just started doing the grind with the Monster Inspect. It's definitely nice getting 30 XP per cast. The only downfall is that you have to close the tab after every cast, which is kind of annoying. But I'll take it. I'll definitely take the 30 magic XP per cast. So I will not complain. Nice, there's another genie random. We'll pop that lamp on smithing per usual, and there is another 90 smithing XP, so that leaves us just 1 lamp away from level 10 smithing. This cast will get us level 43 magic, which is the level required to cast Superheat Item. That's a spell that could definitely be handy in the future, and we are currently getting 29,000 XP per hour at the moment. There's level 45 magic. We can now cast Teleport to Camelot. and we are just 10 levels away. There's level 4647, just completing a pheasant random, so you know what that means. We have another lamp that we can pop into smithing. Let's go ahead and do that for another 90 smithing XP, and that will give us level 10 smithing. Another even number, love it. So there's level 48 magic. There's level 50 magic. We are officially 5 levels away and at 100,000 total magic XP. There's level 51 magic. And there's level 52 magic. 53 magic. And there's level 54 magic. We are at the final stretch. Just one more level to go. And then we will finally be done with this chunk. So with these last couple of monster inspects, that'll get us to level 55 magic. Finally. So now that we've hit level 55 magic, we can officially cast high level alchemy. So let's go to the bank and get something to high alch and officially complete this chunk. So I'm just gonna grab this gold ring. We've got our runes. So yeah, it's about time. Let's complete this task and finish the chunk. So there you go. We have officially achieved 55 magic in order to cast high level alchemy. That is a chunk completed. So now it's time for us to hop back into the chunk picker. Hopefully we roll something good. All right, so time for a new chunk roll. Here are the 4 chunks that we can potentially roll. Regardless, we're probably gonna get a decent grind. If we roll chunk number 1, we'll just have to go mine some coal and then roll another chunk. So it's really just a free chunk. If we roll number 2, we're going to get an 87 fletching grind, which we'll have to cut and fletch and burn around 90,000 willow logs purely with our bronze axe, which I really don't want to do. If we roll chunk number 3, then we'll get a 70 mining grind in order to mine an adamant ore. I do kind of want to get this chunk so that I can get closer to rolling Kastori. And then we have chunk number 4, which is killing blue and red dragons for their drop tables. I don't really mind that chunk as either, but that just gets us closer to the chunk to the right of that, which is an 87 cooking grind. Again, I really ideally I think want chunk number 3 in hopes that after that chunk we roll Kastori, because if we get Kastori, it'll help us with that cooking grind in this chunk. Kastori has corn, so we can cook that corn, and it also will unlock a fishing grind, so we'll have access to fish that we can cook as well. So that's kind of where my head's at the moment. With all that being said, I think I'm ready to get right into it and roll this next chunk. So let's do it. Suspense always kills me, man. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm hyped. That's cool. Mining grind, let's get it. I honestly kind of would have wanted 1 before this just to have another chunk, but we're 1 chunk closer to Kastori, so I'm happy about that, especially because I didn't want that 87 fletching grind, so anything but that would have made me very happy. All right, so we are making our way over to our new chunk. We can get to this chunk by boat, which is what we're going to be doing from here on out, but I just figured it's only right to walk over on foot for our first time in the new chunk. So there's the chunk unlocked. Let's get in here. We've got all of our ores over here. So this is where we're going to be spending pretty much all of our time. We're going to be mining iron though, for the most part, just because that's the fastest XP. And we also only have a bronze axe, so just the best thing for us. This is also another one of the gemstone crab locations, which is pretty cool. We now have 2 out of the 3 locations But besides that, that's pretty much everything in this chunk. There's also the boat, which I'll show you once we have a full inventory of ores. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So there's our first full inventory of iron ores. So now I'll show you guys what this bank trip is going to be looking like every time we have to bank. We just run down the coast here. We transport to Teklan on boat, and then it brings us out right here next to the bank. So not too bad, not great, but it's not terrible. I'll take it. But yeah, that's what the bank trips are going to be looking like. So now that we've walked through our chunk a little bit, it's time to do what we always do and go over our new chunk tasks. So for the new chunk, our one chunk task is to achieve 70 mining in order to mine an adamant ore. We're going to be mining iron ore in order to achieve this, and we're going to need to mine a little over 20,000 iron ore in order to hit our goal. So I'm going to predict that this is going to take close to 10 days in order to achieve, since we're going to be banking all of our ores. But yeah, that's going to be everything that we're going to be doing for this chunk. So let's get on into it. So there is our first level of this grind, level 41 mining, only 29 more levels to go. There's level 45 mining, which is the level required to mine granite. Oh, shout out to this guy for the grats. Thank you, man. Thank you. What a gent. And here's another count check random. So there's another lamp. You already know we're going to pop that into smithing. That'll give us 100 smithing XP and level 11 smithing. And with this iron ore, we will reach level 50 mining, so that's 10 levels down. We can now access the volcano mine on Fossil Island and mine size 5 stars. And yet again, another count check random. I will say with this grind, I feel like we're getting a lot of randoms, which is great. We'll pop that on smithing. That's 110 smithing XP, so we're only one more lamp away from another smithing level. Speaking of one more lamp into leveling up, I hit level 12 smithing and didn't record it, but I just wanted to add that these gravedigger events are probably the best ones for me right now because I can deposit all of my ores instead of having to run to the bank. But yeah, let's pop that on smithing. There's 120 smithing XP, and now we're only one lamp away from level 13 smithing. Well, there goes my attempt to record every 5 levels, but there's level 56 mining. So we just got a lamp from Prison Pete. Shout out to Pete. So, you know, we're going to pop this on smithing, and that's going to give us 120 smithing XP for level 13 smithing. So only one more smithing level until I'm done lamping that. We've been getting a decent amount of clue scrolls as well, but we have yet to find that doable medium step that's north of the Totti rainforest. So I just finished up a dunce random, so I'm going to pop this book of knowledge on smithing for 195 smithing experience and level 14 smithing. So I'm going to stop lamping smithing now. I think what I'm going to do is go back to what I did in episode 1 and try to get my hunter level up so that I can potentially get a steel axe if we get that 87 fletching grind, because I really don't want to do it with a bronze axe, and I'm scared that I'm going to roll it. Just completed a mine random, so this will be our first lamp into Hunter for 30 Hunter XP, and that'll get us to level 4 Hunter. Oh my god, these randoms just keep on coming. I'm not going to complain though. They told me I'd never do it. Level 60 mining, baby. Only 10 more levels to go. There's level 61 mining, which means we can now use a dragon pickaxe. What a pipe dream that is. That iron ore will give us level 62 mining. I know these levels might be seeming pretty quick for you, but they're taking a little bit of time. There's 63 mining. So this inventory of iron ores should put us at the halfway mark. So there is 10,000 iron ores. We are halfway done. It's been about 5 days, so we are on pace to finish this in 10 days. But yeah, 10,000 iron ore. 10,000 more to go. There's a beekeeper random complete. Oh, nice. We got the beekeeper's top and a lamp. Little double whammy there. Gotta love that. So we are gonna pop this lamp into Hunter for 40 Hunter XP, and that'll get us to level 5 Hunter. There's level 64 mining. That's level 65 mining, which means we can now mine Lovakite, and we are only 5 levels away from reaching our goal and completing this chunk. Another dunce random down. You already know we're popping this bad boy on Hunter for 75 Hunter XP, and that is level 6 Hunter. And there is level 66 mining. Count check, you dirty dog. Thanks for the lamp, brother. Another lamp to pop on Hunter. That will give us 60 Hunter XP and level 7 Hunter. A little genie action. Pop this lamp on Hunter as well, and that'll give us 70 Hunter XP and level 8 Hunter. There's level 67 mining. So I decided to do a little bit of 3-tick manipulation just to try and get a little bit of faster XP. It's definitely give me a few more thousand XP per hour, but I would have to say that it's not really for me. It's just, I can't say it's click intensive because it's not really that bad, but I just like to be able to look away from my monitor here and there and kind of relax. But it definitely makes a difference. I can definitely say that. Yeah, I'm gonna do this for a little while, just try and get some faster XP. I'm not gonna do it all the time, but I just figured I'd give it a go. I will say one downfall of this is that because it takes less time for me to get a full inventory of ores, my run energy has less time to replenish. So it kind of just stays depleted the whole time. There's level 68 mining. So only 2 more levels to go until we are done with this grind. So this is our second dunce random of the day, I believe. So once we use this book of knowledge on Hunter, it'll be 135 Hunter XP, and now we are at level 10 Hunter. So we are in the double digits now. So after saying that 3-ticking wasn't really for me and that I wasn't going to do it for very long, I then directly carried on to do it for over an hour straight. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me, man. I don't know. I just contradict myself sometimes, and by sometimes I mean like all the time. But yeah, we got just about 500 ores in that hour, which is pretty good compared to what we were doing. Also, what happens if I pet this guy? Oh, pecked my hand in return? What an a-hole. I don't know how I haven't checked that. So there's level 69 mining. So we are finally at the final stretch of this grind. Only 1 more level to go, and then we will be done with this chunk. And what do you know? We got another lamp from a pheasant random. So as usual, we are going to pop this on Hunter for 100 Hunter XP, and that's going to get us to level 11 Hunter. So we are finally towards the end of this mining grind. We only have a few more ores to go, and then we will be able to wrap this up. There we go. That is level 70 mining. So we can now mine our adamant ore and finish this chunk. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we can get back into the chunk picker. Wow, that was really fast. But there you go. There's level 70 mining. In order to mine an adamant ore, we have officially completed our chunk task and can now jump back into the chunk picker. So let's pray for something good. And I just wanted to give you guys a quick glimpse of my bank before we head into the chunk picker. We actually finished off at exactly 20,000 iron ore, which is pretty cool, man. 20,000 on the dot looks pretty clean, so I'm happy with that. So let's now, we can put this pickaxe in the bank. Hopefully we don't need to use that for a while. And let's jump on in that chunk picker and get to rolling. All right, so back in the chunk picker, I'm gonna try and go over these really quickly as we've already gone over these chunks multiple times, but we only have 4 chunks that we can pick from. As you know, the first chunk only has a 40 mining goal, so it's essentially a free chunk for us now since we have 70 mining. And the second chunk is the chunk that we absolutely do not want. This chunk is our 87 fletching grind plus a 75 fire making grind. So we would have to cut close to 90,000 willows with a bronze axe, which it wouldn't be terrible, but it would just take forever and it would be a lot of AFK. So ideally, I'd like to avoid that chunk until we roll chunk number 4 and we can get a mithril axe from the dragons. Chunk number 3 is a chunk that I would really want. Kastori would make it so we could start farming, and it would also give us access to better cooking methods for the future 85 cooking grind that we're inevitably going to have. And then chunk 4 is the red and blue dragons. So in the dragon den, we would have to kill them for some best in slots. I would really like either chunk 3 or chunk 4, and then whatever order they came in. Say I got chunk 3, I would want chunk 4 next, and if we got chunk 4 first, I would want chunk 3 next. But out of all of 4 of these chunks though, I just absolutely do not want chunk 2. That is the one chunk I really don't want. I'm fine with any of the other ones, just not chunk 2 right now. Well, I think it's time to just go for it and pray to the chunk gods that we don't roll chunk number 2. It's only a 25% chance, so I kind of like our odds. Anything but 2. Anything but 2. Oh god. Oh, of course we roll the crypt. Of course we roll chunk number 2, man. Oh, that is such a letdown, man. That is such a letdown. All right, well, I guess it's a good thing that I've been lamping Hunter because there's no way that I'm going to be chopping 90,000 plus willows with a bronze axe. So if we just keep lamping Hunter, hopefully we can get that steel axe from an imp before we know it. Why couldn't we have gotten any of the other chunks though, man? This is the only one. Well, it is what it is. This is the life of a chunker. I can't complain. It's just gonna be a lot of AFK upcoming. I guess that's where we're gonna end the episode then. I'll go into everything in the next episode. I just got a lot to digest, so we're gonna call it there. As always, I just want to thank you guys for all of the love and support on the series. I know these episodes can take a while for me to release, especially with having a family and all of these real life responsibilities that come first. So I appreciate you guys showing the support whenever these videos drop. I look forward to tackling these upcoming challenges that are coming up in the next chunk. So stay tuned for that. But until then, sayonara everyone. I'll catch you in the next one.